Benvenidos, something like that. Welcome, everybody, to the Rich Rare Radio Show on a Wildcat Wednesday, brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. Today, I have got a pretty spectacular for all of you. Now, we've said this before. There's days where we're going to have great guests, and we've got great topics, and the show's really going to kick. Then there's days where I got to grind to make this thing work. And I try to be as transparent with you as possible. If we have a show that doesn't have a lot of depth to it, I'll tell you. And then I'm going to work a little bit harder to entertain you for the 3 hours that we're on the radio. Then there's days where I'm like, wow, I'm looking through this show. I'm like, this is a heck of a show. Today's one of those days. So thank you so much for joining us on this Wildcat Wednesday, where we celebrate what it means to be an Arizona Wildcat. Why does the words bear down mean something to folks in this community and throughout the country and, well, now around the world? That's the subject of today's program. I've got a really special treat for you. Somebody I've known for a long time, probably 20 some odd years. JT Snow, Arizona Wildcat baseball alum, multiple gold gloves. I think he won 6 gold gloves in the big leagues, played for the Angels, played for the Giants, finished his career with the Red Sox. He's going to join us coming up at the bottom of the hour for our Wildcat Wednesday guest. Really excited to have a conversation with my friend JT Snow. That's going to be fun on the program today. Also, I'm still inspired from our conversation yesterday with Clancy Shields, the head tennis coach for the men for the University of Arizona. What he talked about yesterday, if you're a coach, you need to listen to this. If you're a parent, you need to listen to this. If you're a student athlete, you need to listen to what he says and how he went from worst to first within 6 years. 6 years ago, Arizona tennis couldn't win a match. They went 0-for in the Pac-12. They play in one of the toughest conferences in the country, and when nobody believed in him, and he even started having doubts creeping into his head, they figured out how to bear down. You're going to want to hear what Clancy has to say coming up here on the program. Also, I think Brian Jeffries is stopping by the show today as well. Wouldn't be a Wildcat Wednesday without Brian, so all of that's coming up here on the program. We're coming to you live from the studios of Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, Sol Sports, bet easy, win big, bet local, Casino del Sol. I'm Rich Herrera. That, of course, is my associate, Dragon Ball. He's live on the Dragon Ball cam on Facebook and Facebook Live and YouTube. Dragon Ball, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Rich. Good afternoon.
Do you got anything to add to the program today?
I was waiting. I'm waiting to pick. See, because normally it's that the show always gets derailed by me, so I'm trying to pick my spots today.
You're going to pick your battles today.
I'm going to pick the battles that we need to fight today.
All right, I like that. All right, so Dragon Ball is along for the ride, and then, of course, you are our great audience. So, what shall we talk about on the program today? I want to take telephone calls today. I'm gonna mood to talk to people today. I'm in a friendly mood. I'm actually in a really good mood.
That's probably that Theragun that you've been hammering at.
Maybe that's what it is. But today, I mean, listen, it's gorgeous in Tucson today, right?
It's gorgeous. It's only hitting about 89 degrees
but
right now.
But it doesn't feel like we're in a blast furnace. Ask me 30 days from now how hot it's going to be. But today there was a breeze. I went out. In fact, I went to lunch. And I just started driving around, windows down, sunroof open, and I was like, man, it is awesome to live in Tucson today.
Mm-hmm. It was not as bad as it had been the last couple of days. I mean, what we had yesterday when we asked that question, how hot it was what, 93?
But it wasn't that. When I walked out of the station around 6:30, it wasn't that bad.
Well, no, not at 6:30. No, it ended up cooling off quite a bit. But in the high, and once you got to the high noon, it was like 96.
Right. So
97.
now I'll transition from wearing pants and long sleeve shirts to golf shorts and swim trunks to work in flip flops.
Swim trunks.
Well, so on our webcam, on our streaming webcam now, you only see me from the top up, so I can wear swim trunks underneath.
Okay.
right? You worked at
No.
TV. You're telling me none of those guys wore shorts underneath the desk?
No, because normally what happened was with KOLD, what happened was that we had so many people that had to move back and forth from under the desk to in front of the camera, so they would go from sitting in one story, and they'd have one story to get over to a standing position. DK was always like, he never really had to worry about it because he was always standing to do his.
You see him from the.
Well, you only saw him from like the waist up. We would try to shoot him just from the waist up, but they would also have a desk in front of them where they were standing at.
Right.
But there were times where, like, say, for instance, when Dan Mari's had to go from the main desk to stand over at a vertical screen when we had a graphic in there, we'd have to, like, give him a full body shot. So you would have to wear the pants.
No full body shots here. I want people to watch our YouTube channel at Wildcats 1290 and on Facebook Live at Wildcats 1290 on Facebook. And, of course, you can now watch the show on WildcatsRadio1290.com. The chances of us overtaking that third grade class that's right above us in the rankings that is showing a webcam of an ant farm.
Yeah, that would drop consistently
if it was a full body cam
on either of us.
On especially one of us. I won't say which one. But anyway, with that being said, I got a lot I want to get to on the program today. I'm gonna do a little audible here.
Okay.
Because every day, and I'll show, we have a sheet that we kind of run through as we put the show together. Believe it or not, we don't just walk in here and make up the show on the fly, even though it might seem like it sometimes. We actually do sit and take at least 2 seconds to plan.
And some of these, though, do get X'd out because of some occasional rabbit holes we may get ourselves into.
No, you leading us down a bad path will take us somewhere. Like yesterday, you said, hey, let me see if I can make Rich mad. 10 seconds, boom, done.
I mean, that discussion on the pitch clock, though, that was entertaining.
That was entertaining. But I've decided something. School's going to be out soon. Right? I was over in the bookstore the other day. They're getting their graduation robes, getting ready to graduate, right?
Yes.
So, what are we going to do for the summer?
I don't know, because for me, I guess like summer vacation has become
there is no summer vacation.
Yeah, there's no summer vacation for once you get out of college or once you get out of school. So
you should continue to learn and educate yourself and become more worldly, no matter where you are.
That's fair.
So I dropped this on Dragon Ball. I'm going to tell you guys, too. As we get closer to the College World Series, and then really that's the end of the athletic calendar for the University of Arizona as we wait for football to get going in the fall. What do we do here at Wildcats Radio 1290? We talk about the Cats every day. Now, I'll talk about things I want to talk about on the program, like last night, Mayans. Crazy good.
That first episode was worth the wait.
But I had to stay up till like 10 o'clock, 11 midnight to watch the thing.
I mean, that's going to happen, especially right now.
I know I should. Like my brother recorded it, and he'll watch it today. I was going to call him like, hey, did you see what happened? No, I recorded it. So now, I was thinking about this today. We now have to have spoiler alerts because not everybody will watch it in real time. Most people record it and then binge it.
Twitter's a minefield for that.
Well, don't get off Twitter. Twitter's garbage. People on Twitter are garbage. Twitter is trash. There's nothing good that ever comes of Twitter. In fact, we pay way too much attention to social media. I swear, I was in a meeting today and I told everybody I want to get rid of my iPhone and just get an old school burner flip phone.
You keep talking about this flip phone idea.
I would love, you know what? Do I need to look at my phone all the time? Would my life be better if I got rid of social media? The answer is yes.
Your life would be better. I would argue the job would be harder.
I just have to concentrate more. I mean, I got an iPad. I got a MacBook. I got electronics, but I just find myself sitting there looking at the stupid phone for no reason. So my goal is to be less on my phone this summer. I want to read more books.
You want to be more educated this summer?
I want to be more enlightened this summer. Off of social media, read more books, and I want to learn more.
What are you looking to learn?
Give me something. I want to learn, so I want to take you along on this journey with me. We'll have summer school for Wildcat fans.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. again, I'm making this up on the fly right now as we go. I would love to hear from you today about something you've always wondered, right? What's the wonder makes us is the motto for the University of Arizona in the marketing campaign that you have on the spots you see played during the games. Wonder makes us.
Right.
You should always wonder and want to learn and want to grow and want to experience and learn new things, right? So what I decided is this summer, let's wonder and learn about things. Like, okay, listen, Herrera, we heard what a crappy student you are. We really don't need this from you. No, this is a little bit different. What I'm saying is there's things I take for granted that I think I know, but maybe I don't. There's things we talk about in sports that I just take for granted that everybody knows, or I think I know, but I'm probably wrong. Perfect example of this is the strike zone in Major League Baseball. Have we had this discussion?
We had this discussion.
What's the top of the strike zone? We
had this discussion when I was bring up the idea of the makeup call. And
right, which makes
there's no such thing.
Which there's no such thing. What's the top of the strike zone? Everybody, you listening? Everybody out there in your car right now, what's the top of the strike zone? Dragon Ball, speak for everyone. What's the top of the strike zone?
To my understanding, it's chest high at the letters.
Okay, that's not the top of the strike zone. How would you know that? Because you've been told that forever, and everybody says, oh, top of the strike zone. How can you never call the high strike? So I have friends that are umpires, and I asked them, how come you never call the high strike? And they go, Rich, if it's high, then it's not a strike. You're so funny. Come on, explain it to me. No. The top of the strike zone, as you stand, is 3 baseballs above your belt. And I said, well, no, it's the armpit or the letters. That's the top of the strike zone because you've heard that forever. You ever wonder why they don't call that as you watch the game? And then you hear every idiot announcer, oh, you missed that one. Bad strike, bad strike, bad strike. You've heard that before, right?
Right, and they always show it in the little box or
whatever. Which, by the way, just so you know, those boxes are worthless and garbage because they do not invest the technology enough in the technology enough to have it be a moving strike zone. So if you're Richie Sexton and you're 6'10", that box is the same for Jose Altuve, who's 5'0".
Right.
The box doesn't move. It's static. So what happens is when you see that and it looks like, wow, that's a bad strike, it's not indicative of what the real strike zone is because it's for entertainment purposes only. Now, what the top of the strike zone is as you go to hit and you stride and your center of gravity gets lower because your feet are spreading apart, which makes you shrink down.
Yeah, you shrink your shoulders kind of a little bit.
You drop your entire body drops down.
Right. So what the batting, and from what I remember, our discussion with the umpire that you brought on says that that's when the strike zone then changes.
That's when the strike zone. No, the strike zone didn't change. It's as you go to make contact with the ball, as you stride, your butt drops down because your feet spread, and you spread yourself wider out. Center of gravity goes as you make your stride. So if I called that strike at the letters as you stand, you probably drop down 3 baseballs, which means now I'm going to call that strike if you're standing there. By the time you go to make contact and you stride and your feet separate, which makes your whole body drop down, guess what? That's now at your shoulders and at your neck. Now, as you stride down, guess what? 3 baseballs is about 3 baseballs as you stand is about where your letters are as you swing. But have you ever heard that? Has anybody ever explained that in a baseball broadcast? I've never heard it. Have you? You always hear something. No. You always hear something like, you could call holding on every play. I've asked NFL referees. They said, no, that's not true. But you hear it all the time. So what I want to do this summer is I want to have Wildcat Summer School. And I need you to help me with the syllabus. Are you getting nightmares thinking about school again?
Just a little bit.
Okay. Professor Rich is going to teach a class in Wildcat Summer School here, but I need your help. What are some things that we take for granted that you've often wondered about, but nobody's ever explained to you? Is there holding on every play in football? The answer is no, but it's something that we've been kind of spoon-fed that might be incorrect. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get an NFL referee or college referee or retired referee to come on here and explain, is that really true? What are things that you've wondered about? You can call me today, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. What have you wondered about? How many people does it take to put on a football game when you go to Arizona Stadium? It's a lot of people. Have you ever wondered about that?
I mean, the field crew by itself is probably
well,
upwards
you got
of
field crew. You got people that work in security. You've got ushers. You've got concession. You got people that work on the scoreboard. What does it take to put on a football game? How many people work on game day? I wondered about that. My dad used to come see me at work when I worked in baseball, and he goes, Mijo, how come there's so many people? How many people does it take to put on a baseball game? I said, Dad, there's about 300 of us that work in the front office. Why? And I walked through and I showed him, here's the people that work in stadium operations that, make sure that the bathrooms are working. Here's the people that work in security. Here's the people that work in tickets. Here's the people that work in in-game entertainment at the scoreboard. Here's the people that work in baseball ops. Here's the people that work in corporate sales. Wow, I didn't realize it took that many people to put on a game. Here's one I've always wondered about. I know how it works in baseball. I don't know how it works in football. The instant replay official. How does that work? What is he doing? We don't see him. We just see the referees talking to somebody on a headset and looking at an iPad.
Well, now it's an iPad. Back in the day, it used to be this huge, mini. What was
right
it?
Now
it's
a screen. Right. How does that work? How do you put that together? How do you feed a team? We hear about training table. We talk about that here. Oh yeah, they have a training table. All the student athletes get fed. What's that? Do you know?
No, I've never been a part of the training table before.
So this summer, I want to learn some things, and I hope you do too. Is there something that you've always wondered about? I'd love to help explore that with you this summer. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Don't be bashful. What is something you've wondered about when it comes to Arizona sports in general, or just, hey, listen, I'll do anything you want. We talk about a lot of different things that interest you. What interests you, Dragon Ball? I don't know why I'm asking this question, because I'm just going to get a bad answer.
Yeah, you're going to get a bad answer. You know what? Go ahead and come back to me. I'll come up with a better one.
Come on, give me something that you wonder about.
Well, I suppose, for me, one of the bigger questions I would always have is exactly how does it work for the spotter? Because I've been the spotter in a couple of different occasions when I did college football with Mitch Stroman for NAU football.
Right.
And
what does the spotter do?
The spotter's the one that's in charge of going ahead and pointing out, who carried the ball, who made the tackle. This is this guy.
Okay, that's a great one. So Brian Jeffries, when he does the games, sometimes he has a spotter, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
What does a spotter do? Because you'll hear that. And by the way, you know what? Okay, that's a good one. You actually contributed to the program today.
There you go.
Nanny, be proud of young Dragon Ball today. That would be a great one. How do the announcers know all the stats that they have coming out right at that point?
Mm-hmm.
I got a really good friend of mine who does it, who's the stat guy for Eli Gold from University of Alabama. He's so good that Eli actually travels with him to every game that he does. He won't do a game without Butch.
Right.
I have one buddy of mine, Mark. He's Mark Jones' personal stat guy.
His personal statistician?
Yeah, in Jonesy, he's doing NBA games right now on ESPN. I think he and Doris Burke are working together in the first round. He actually flies him from game to game to do statistical information. So I've worked with him before. He's great. I got a buddy, Keith Joseph, who lives down in College Station, and they fly him to different NFL cities every weekend because he's that great of a stat guy and a spotter. That would be interesting.
Right, because, again, when I did it for Mitch, it was only because he was at home games. But I would be
And there
curious,
was nobody else there.
I would be curious. Well, that too. Mostly because I think it was that they saw me.
Everybody else was drunk.
Yeah, everybody. Well, I mean, we were all students, so I don't know how many of us could be allowed to be drunk at that time. But
you didn't go to school with me.
I wasn't going to say that, but you did. But, like, again, with the spotter situation, you end up working for more so the play-by-play announcer, but the color commentator sometimes will go ahead and you'll need to feed him something or give him
that's a
else.
great one. So Brian Jeffries has a board.
Right.
How does Brian Jeffries know every player that's coming in and what every player is doing? He has a board.
And I'll tell you, Mitch, when I work with Mitch, again, I hate doing the name drop thing for me personally, but it's just when I worked with him, he had this entire cardboard cutout that almost was the size of what you would describe as like a 5th grade science fair project display. And he had every player listed from top to the bottom of the depth chart at each position, and the other side would be the opposing team. So he wouldn't have you flip the thing to try and figure out who was on what field and everything else. For offense and defense on both sides. So things like that would be very interesting to see, like, what kind of prep work and how do you set it up for yourself?
When I worked in baseball, I could show you my scorecard. My scorecard was probably, when you open up a manila folder?
Yes.
Mine was 2 of those. And I had, each team on one side, batting order, and then along the edges, I wrote all my little notes. I wrote down, oh man, I wrote down what your batting average against the team was, what you're hitting your last 10 days, how you were against left-handers, right-handers. I had everything you could possibly want on there. Am I boring you? You're yawning on the show.
Stretching there.
See, you know what? You have one good idea, and then. By the way, this just in. Your approval rating right now is 40%.
40%? That's about where I expected by this, but we'll go ahead and we'll shoot it back up once we get to the halfway point.
I'm not confident in that today. All right, number for you to join us, 520-848-1290. This is going to be interactive, folks. What have you always wondered about? Do you ever wonder about what the mascot, what it's like to be a mascot? We can get Tuffy the Toro. I know a bunch of different mascots. I know Sourdough Sam. I know Raymond. I know the Philly Fanatic. We bring those guys on. How much do you think those guys sweat? How hard is it to become the Philly Fanatic?
You got to be in shape to be a mascot, from what I would understand.
I don't know. I've seen some fat mascots.
I don't know.
I've seen some fat mascots. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. What have you wondered about? Okay, I need your help. I've got a whole bunch that I've always wondered about. I love the mascots. I love the spotter, all the rest of that stuff. We're going to learn all summer long. I'm Rich Herrera. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it. Drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for 2. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak. Driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home. And the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the 3, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
4th down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
4th down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on 4th down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his 3rd foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like one driving down. That was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Coloco screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Coloco. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrios. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps into the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Fully
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time.
Today's show brought to you in
Excellent
part
job
by
Arizona
QC
defense
Kinetics.
and
Longer
really
days,
changing the
warmer
momentum of
weather.
this game.
This is the time of the year you need to be enjoying life without pain. Time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people here and all over America get real, lasting pain relief. They use highly concentrated, cutting-edge natural biologic treatments that can restore and repair damaged joint tissue, getting to the root of the pain. It's life-changing. You can get back to moving like you used to with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. If you have nagging pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulder, your back, and you're done with steroids and pain meds, call QC Kinetics. And if they're telling you surgery is your next option, don't do it. Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation and a free second opinion. Learn more about these amazing natural biologic treatments. Enjoy this time of year doing what you love. Call QC Kinetics, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. All right, coming up in just a few moments, we'll talk with JT Snow. He's our guest for Wildcat Wednesday. I'm excited about our conversation with JT. We've been friends for a long time. I was around him in 1997 with the San Francisco Giants when I did the Giants postgame show, and we've been friends ever since. Pretty excited to have him on the program today as our guest for Wildcat Wednesday. By the way, did you watch any of the playoffs last night?
I did. I watched a couple games there.
Because we have a bet. Who's going to go further? Dubs?
Dubs
who
or
look
the
to
Suns?
be the best team in the NBA right now, and
The Suns,
who don't look to be the best team in the NBA. They might not get out of the first round.
Well,
Remember, I was on their bandwagon last year.
Right.
With the Dubs not making it into the playoffs.
For right now, I'm not going to go ahead and be my usual.
You're not going to bury them yet?
I'm not going to be my usual pessimistic self with my basketball team. Like a couple friends of mine always used to claim I was, especially last year for the Suns playoff run. I think this team has enough depth to at least take one game in New Orleans without Devin Booker.
So they've lost home field advantage or home court advantage last night after losing in whatever the name of that arena is. I can't remember what it is, nor do I care. The Suns lose last night. Devin Booker's going to be out for the next two games. Ingram goes off for the Pelicans, which, by the way, when I see the word Pels, I have no idea what that team is.
Well, I mean,
the New Orleans Pels. I don't know what that is.
Needed
I
to
think
change
Pell Grant.
They needed to change the name. They didn't want it to stay. They didn't want it to stay the Hornets forever and make it something more.
Make Utah give the name back. That would make sense.
The Jazz?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Utah is fine for Jazz.
Are there a bunch of jazz clubs in Utah that I don't know about?
No.
Is jazz really big in Utah?
No, but just that name has stuck.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Does that make you think of Utah? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You realize why the Utah Jazz are called the Utah Jazz,
yes,
right?
Because they weren't originally from Utah. I understand
just like
that.
the Los Angeles Lakers, I'm sorry.
They're the
There's
Minneapolis
not
Lakers.
a lot of lakes in Los Angeles.
Right.
Lake Toluca is the only one I can think of.
I mean, if you look
or Toluca Lake is what it's called.
If you really think about it, I mean, is an ocean not just a big lake?
All right, Dragon Ball, your approval rating has dropped to 35% of the program today. The Pels are now 1-1.
Yep.
And by the way, the C's and the Nets are getting ready to come out pretty soon.
I also hate that nickname, the C's. I just call them the Celtics.
Or the Celts?
I don't like the Celtics. Just say Celtics. I'm sorry.
You're good with.
I'm good with Pelicans. I'm good with the team name. I don't like abbreviating it. Like Pels, I also
do you
don't
get
agree
mad
with.
when I call them the Dubs?
No.
Do you know who the Dubs are?
Well, the Warriors.
The W's. The Dubs.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I understand it's a nickname, but just shortening a name for the sake of shortening a name.
I don't know how you're going to get back up to 70% to pass this class.
Yeah, well,
when you're down with 35 right now after the first quiz.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Celtics and the Nets are coming up. I never root for the Celtics. I'm a West Coast guy.
Yeah.
But I do have to root for them now because of Kyrie giving the finger to everybody.
Well, he did it twice, I think the funny thing was.
$50,000, that's nothing to Kyrie Irving.
It's not.
Give him a real fine. Is it okay? Can I walk around telling everybody, give him the light bulb?
No.
Is the Mad skit, the Mad
blurry,
TV skit?
The blurry finger?
Yeah, am I allowed to walk around and do that all the time? Apparently in the NBA I can because they'll find you pocket change for telling people you're number one.
I mean, they also will find people for, like, pulling their pants down at the free throw line back in the day, so that was also a thing.
What?
Do you remember Ron Artest would always do that, where he was at the free throw, he was trying to box out the free throw line, and his gimmick was at times to, like, go ahead and tug on someone's shorts to get them.
Well, no, that's He's not pantsing them.
There were a couple times where he
he would pull them down, or you grab a jersey to catch up with somebody if they've blown by you.
Yeah, but you still shouldn't do that.
No,
like
but
you still shouldn't flip the bird with somebody.
I'm sorry. Grabbing somebody's shorts while you're boxing out is not even comparable to telling the crowd they're number one.
It's not, but it's still finable.
Yeah, they're both finable, but they're not even the same type of just offensive behavior.
I mean, true, but still, it's not the weirdest thing you've been fined in the NBA for.
You're down to 25%.
Well, we'll work our way back up.
I don't have confidence in you. JT Snow, Arizona Wildcat, baseball great. He's our guest today for Wildcat Wednesday, brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. He's next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry right Corner, Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Manthrin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Manthrin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will.
We continue with you. It's Wildcat Wednesday, brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore here on Wildcats Radio 1290. I got a treat for you. One of my favorite players of all time. He's an Arizona Wildcat legend, JT Snow, joining us on Wildcat Wednesday. JT, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Rich.
I really appreciate it. And I've known JT for a long time, so this is a special treat for me. So, you know what, JT, you're so synonymous with Arizona baseball, and there's been guys like you and Trevor Hoffman and Gil Heredia that have all gone on. Chip Hale now running the baseball team. I can't wait to have this discussion with you. So let's start off with a young JT Snow, Los Alamitos High School, all everything in football, basketball, baseball. Tell me about your journey that brought you to Tucson.
Well, yeah, you mentioned that, and you know, I'm real thankful that I grew up in a good time in high school where I could play all 3 sports. My dad, Jack, was a former wide receiver in the NFL with the Rams, 11 years, so that's why we made Orange County home, and Los Alamitos High School, and played football, basketball, baseball, like you said, and then was decent in all of them, and then it just happened. I was playing summer league ball. You'll probably remember this place, Old Blair Field in Long Beach, and it was Connie Mack ball. It was my junior year, and I remember my coach Dave Demarest, who coached at La Quinta High School in Fountain Valley, with our coach, and he came up to me and another guy on our team, and he said, "Hey, the Stanford and the Arizona coaches are here tonight, so not that you guys don't play hard, but just be aware and maybe a little extra effort, whatever." And Jerry Stitt was our hitting coach. Was in the stands that night. I go 4 for 5 with a home run, couple doubles, make some plays on defense. And then after the game, he introduced himself because he knew our Connie Mack coach real well. There was kind of a pipeline, and then started recruiting me. And then my senior year, Coach Stitt and Coach Wing, our pitching coach, and even Coach Kendall, they came out and watched me play football. They came to a basketball game of mine. And of course they watched me play baseball. And, it was just, I was really impressed, and talking with my dad, and might have had a chance to play some places in football. I was a quarterback, and then I was a point guard in basketball, some smaller schools. But my dad was very instrumental in my decision, and saying, you go to a place like Arizona, you could have a good baseball future. And, and I was just an athlete playing 3 sports. And so, yeah. And as it turned out, Arizona was the only school that offered me a decent ride in baseball. I had some other options from some other schools in Southern California, but I was impressed with their recruiting, and come to find out that Coach Stitt and the program liked to recruit guys that played multiple sports. And then if they could get him into baseball full time, you can take off. And that's exactly what happened to me, because I was divvying up my time, a third, started playing baseball full time at U of A, and had a pretty good career there, and got drafted my junior year. So I tell people this day, it was my only scholarship offer, and I I really owe everything to U of A baseball and those coaches because they got me on my way, and I got into pro ball, and I was well prepared. And every time I see them, I just tell them thank you. They took a chance. They took a chance on me, and it worked out.
All right, let me take you down a rabbit hole for just a minute. Like you said, you played football, basketball, and baseball the way the kids did years ago. Now every kid specializes: travel baseball, American Legion baseball. And they're playing more than big leaguers play year round. With kids today, do you think that they should play multiple sports or specialize real early?
Absolutely, they should play multiple sports. And you know what, Rich? It was going that way when I was coming up, but I had a dad who could kind of stand up to some coaches because of his career. And he said, and I got pulled by the football coach to go to summer camps, and my dad just said, you know what, my kid's going to play all three, and he can help all of you guys and all your teams, and he's going to just enjoy it. And looking back, like, football taught me a lot of things about, toughness and strength, and we're in the weight room, and we're hitting with pads on, and you're getting banged up. And basketball was great for me for my footwork and my conditioning, and then baseball was great because it was about timing, and it's a different sport about being patient, and you get to play every day, but you get only 4 at bats, and baseball is a lot harder to control a game than, say, in football or basketball if you're the star of the team. So every sport helped me in another way. And soccer is another great sport for kids for footwork and conditioning. And then I never got burned out. When I got to the U of A, I was 18 years old, my freshman year, and I just played baseball. I put all my energy into baseball. My body was fresh. I just think there's a lot of burnout with kids and repetitive, over repetitive movements in the same sport all the time, or you're going to break down. So I was very fortunate that I had my dad in my corner, like I said, and I got tugged by the basketball coach and the football coach and the baseball coach. But my dad said, hey, listen, he's going to play all three, leave him alone, and let him have fun. So if you can play multiple sports, I think it's great.
Talk to us about your recruiting visit when you finally came to Tucson. And again, you grew up in Southern California. There's a couple cactus in Los Alamitos, but you're close to the water. When you come out to the desert, what did Coach Kendall and Coach Stitt and the rest of the coaches show you that made you think, wow, I belong in Tucson?
I came out there. I'll never forget. They were playing Cal Berkeley, and it was me and another recruit. His name was Troy Paulson. He was a buddy of mine, played on my summer league team. He ended up going to Stanford, but he was the Orange County Player of the Year at La Quinta High School in Fountain Valley. And we went together, and there was 4 or 5 other recruits there. And I just remember Chip Hale and Steve Strong, who were the captains back then, took me around. Remember that team in '86? They won it all. Tommy Hinzo and Gar Malay and Dave Rohde and all those guys. I remember all those guys. Joe Estes. And I fly in on a Friday. I meet the coaches. We go to the game, and I just remember back in it was the 6-pack South. The games were like 15-10, 18-15, and there was just so much hitting going on, and the Cats could always hit. Guys are hitting home runs with those old aluminum bats, and I said, and then we went to dinner that night with a bunch of the players, took us out, and then the next day went to breakfast with the coaches, went to another game, and then same thing. And then on Sunday I flew home, and I came home, and my parents were like, what do you think? And I said, I want to go there. Like, it's offensive. The ball flies. They have a great facility. The McHale Center was a great place, back in the day. And the guys were just great. And I don't know if I should say this, but I actually somebody actually snuck me into dirt bags as an 18-year-old. And I got to see the U of A co-eds. I'm like, that's a big part of your life. You're 18, right? I'm like, okay, done deal. This is where I'm coming. So I won't drop any names who snuck me in there, but I got into dirt bags as an 18-year-old, and I went home, and then I literally signed a couple weeks later, and Coach Kendall offered me a scholarship, and it was a done deal.
Wow. You know what? My nephew was just visiting from California last week, and he's okay grade-wise. He's still in high school. So I said, I'm going to show you why you need to study real hard And I took him and I showed him around campus, and we drove by dirt bags, and he saw the girls, and he's like, Uncle Rich, you're right. I do need to study a lot harder. So, yeah, it's still the same thing. When you got here to Tucson, what did you think of it? What did you talk about your career here? Because, I mean, you talked about everybody that you had played with or had come before you, but, boy, there were some beasts that you played with down here as well.
Yeah, my freshman year, I roomed with Alan Zinter, who's was a first-round pick by the Mets. He was the Pac-12 player or Pac-10 player of the year back then, now doing great stuff in professional baseball as a hitting guy. Alan and I were roommates. Came in with a good group of freshmen. Chip Hale and Steve Strong were our seniors, and they were our captains. Guys like Mike Thorell, just amazing guys. And I just remember, you know, I lived in Graham Greenlee on campus. I lived in the dorm at Graham and with all the other baseball players. A guy named Greg Falble, who was from LA, was our starting shortstop as a freshman. And then just kind of learning, it's a rude awakening your freshman year. I got thrust in to the lineup right away because Gar Malay, who was a great player, was going to come back for senior year with Chip and Steve, but he ended up signing. So he was going to play first base, but now he's gone. So I was kind of the guy and took a lot of lumps and learned the hard way when you get into we got into the 6-pack South and, you know, facing SC and UCLA, Stanford and Cal, ASU. It was tough, but I held my own. I think my freshman year I hit about 290 and had a couple home runs, and coaches were very patient with me. And I learned so much from Jerry Stitt about the art of hitting. And Coach Kendall, to this day, I tell people he was the best infield guy that I ever worked with and really helped me in my career. I won some Gold Gloves in the big leagues, and I always went back to his fielding fundamentals. So, but our real year was our junior year in '89 when guys like Trevor Hoffman and Scott Erickson came, and Trevor was our shortstop and Scott was our stud pitcher. And man, we could hit. And my biggest memory is going down to ASU at the end of the year. Kevin Long was our center fielder, now the hitting coach with the Washington Nationals. And we were tied with ASU going down to Tempe that last series of the year for the Pac-6 championship, and we swept them on their home field, which is to this day I will never forget. And then we finished the year ranked number 1 in the country. We hosted a regional. It was different back then. I think there was 8 sites with 6 teams, and we eventually lost to Long Beach State, beat us twice to go to Omaha. And then I got drafted. Yankees called 5th round, and I went on to start my career. But you know what's funny, Rich, is I still talk to all my college buddies to this day. Scott Erickson and Kevin and Trevor and Lance Dixon was on that team. I think Lance is doing great things in Tucson. And we still are all pretty tight. And when there's a UA basketball game or a baseball game, that we all text each other and we're watching. So I had the best 3 years of my life in college and met great people. And it was really, really fun. I love Tucson. I miss it. And anytime I get a chance to get back, I jump at it. And now I'm watching Chip run the program and had the guys playing well early, and I keep track of that top 25. So we're all Wildcats, and we're all proud of our program.
Big series coming up this weekend against ASU as well here at High Corbett. Let me ask you this, because in basketball, we know that the basketball program puts guys in the NBA. This baseball program puts guys into Major League Baseball. Did you guys talk about that when you were here? Because, I mean, you look at your teammates. Hoffy's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, Kevin Long, look everything he's done in professional baseball. Scott Erickson, Alan Zinter, Kenny Lofton. I mean, I can keep going and going and going of guys that came from Tucson and went there. Was that something that was part of the program? Like, hey, listen, we're going to prepare you to get an opportunity to play at the next level.
You know, I think we talked about it because it's every kid's dream, and I'm sure every athlete goes to college hoping they get a chance at the next level. And that's the respect I had for Jerry Kendall and the coaches is they never really talked about getting us ready for the next level. They never really talked much about pro ball. We got to see it every year. The old alumni game we had, guys that come back and wear their big league or their organization uniform. But I think down deep they knew. And we would talk about it, and we wanted to get drafted. And I didn't get drafted out of high school in baseball. And a guy like Alan, Alan, my roommate, got drafted. A lot of guys got drafted out of high school. But, I mean, that's why you're there. go to class, obviously, we're getting our grades, but we want to go to that next level. And, I had a real tough time my junior year. I was drafted in the 5th round by the Yankees and deciding whether to sign or not. And I was on pace to graduate, and it was a really hard decision for me. And I ended up going and signing and getting my career underway. I think when we get into pro ball coming out of the U of A, I remember going to short season in Oneonta, New York, in the New York Penn League, and just watching some of the guys around the team. And I was like, man, I'm well prepared. I know how to run bunt plays and cutoffs and relays and rundowns, and I have an idea at the plate. And a lot of these guys weren't quite sure because they might have come from small high schools or junior colleges, but I had success in A ball and then high A, and then I went to double A, and then luckily I had my best season in triple A in Columbus, Ohio, won a batting title and was voted best defensive player in the league. And that's when I got traded to the Angels and things started happening. So I was so prepared coming out of U of A, as most guys are. And when you look back, it's like, man, we got the right coaching, the right facilities, the right equipment, and we were ready to go. And the mental side of the game, which is so big nowadays, I was mentally prepared, and I was mentally tough coming out of college and knew how to deal with ups and downs and slumps and hot streaks. And I thought the Pac-6, which we played in, was pretty equivalent to like high A ball.
Right.
It wasn't quite double A because of pitching, but guys are prepared, and that's why they have success.
What's it like when you're in the big leagues and you are standing at first base and another Wildcat happens to get on base and the two of you are standing there?
It's always good times. I remember playing against Chip Hale. He was with the Twins, and you just kind of chuckle and smile, and I might slap him with my glove. And I remember facing Scott Erickson. I faced Scott something like 30-something times in the big leagues, and I would get in the box, and he always had that stare, right? He had the glove up over the face. If you've
Right.
never seen it, go back and Google Scott Erickson, the black glove with the black shoes. They called him Dr. Death. He was all blacked out, and I couldn't look him in the face because we'd start laughing at each other. But he would challenge me, and he'd say, "I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to go at you as hard as I can and throw you my fastball slider." And so that was a lot of fun. And then seeing Kevin Long, I'm in the Bay Area now. He comes through San Francisco, and I go up and see him working with the guys in the batting cage. And I remember when I was with the Giants and Jerry Stitt came into town, or Coach Kendall, and I got him down in the batting cages or in the dugout before the game. And it makes you smile and it makes you proud. And, we're one big family.
Okay, a couple questions we ask everybody on Wildcat Wednesday. JT Snow joining us right now. What does it mean, JT, for you to bear down?
It just means for me, it's when things are tough, man, you never give up. You just keep fighting. And it happens in all our lives, and it happens in our sporting careers. And it's just a simple phrase. And, sometimes I get a lot of flack from other guys. They kind of make fun of it, "Oh, well, bear down." I'm like, yeah, but you don't know that phrase was coined by, at the U of A. And it's amazing how many times you hear people say that. But to me, it's just keep fighting and keep battling. And when things they're not always good, we go through ups and downs. And when you're down, man, you just bear down and you fight through it and you come out on the other side.
As an alumni, and someone who's been through the wars, been through the big leagues, saw everything life is going to throw at you, how do you think people should best support Chip and what he's trying to do with the baseball team?
Well, I don't think there's enough support. I think college baseball gets so overlooked, and I worked for the Pac-12 network for 7 years broadcasting, and getting a chance to see these coaches and these players, and the support is amazing. And we played at old Frank Sanset Field on campus, and just to have the students come out, I think the students to come out, and I've been back to High Corbett since they moved, and pretty good atmosphere, right? And drawing some of the bigger crowds in the Pac-12, and the support, no matter where you go, whether it's in the big leagues, the minor leagues, and college, the support is everything. To have people wearing your colors and sitting behind your dugout. So it's just the support, you just can't get enough of it. And just, through thick and thin, you have to remember these kids are 18, 19, 20 years old. They're kids. Some are still teenagers, and we're going to make mistakes. And But to have good college coaches like I had with Coach Kendall and now with Chip there, these kids are going to come out as better men.
JT, I really appreciate you taking time joining us. JT Snow's been our guest on Wildcat Wednesday. Bear down. I'll catch up with you soon.
Yep. Okay, Rich, thanks for having me on. Enjoy Tucson. We'll see you soon.
All right, JT Snow joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step to handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
That was cool. Sorry, I turned my headphones down. That was cool. See, if you're watching our stream right now, you would have seen me go, ah! That was pretty cool, catching up with JT Snow.
Oh, yeah. And
he loves Tucson, right?
Oh, yeah, he does. And I love the fact that he made sure to make it very clear. Like, no, be a multi-sport athlete. It will only help you.
Our friend Fred Harvey, I was texting with him during the break. He said, absolutely, you've got to play multiple sports. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you volunteer to coach kids, great. God bless you. Period. And I'm trying to figure out how to say this without a but, because once I say something and then I say but, nothing else matters.
Right.
So how do I say this correctly? Thank goodness you will volunteer to coach kids. Let's just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I've said this before. I hate travel league baseball. I hate travel league baseball because I think it's not about developing kids' character or making them better people. It's a lot of times, and not all of them are like that, but the majority of ones that I've come across are ones that just think that they're Tony La Russa, Joe Madden, and Dave Roberts. They think they're Buck Showalter. I've seen it so much. If your kid's playing on a team and somebody's making a profit off of it, then I question what we're doing. And you have kids right now that are going to blow out their arm. Arm's done, toast. They'll never play high school baseball, much less college baseball, because, Mr. Dragon Ball, I'm going to pretend I'm talking to your dad.
Right.
Mr. Dragon Ball, how are you today, sir?
Doing okay.
You know what? Young Dragon Ball has got a heck of an arm for an 8-year-old. I'd like him to come play on our elite travel team, and we're going to travel all around Arizona and Southern California and probably into Nevada. He's going to have a great time. He's going to get the freshest gear anybody could ever have. He doesn't need to play Little League against these stiffs and these clowns here in town. Come play on my travel ball team, and we'll travel the world together, and he is going to be something special at 8 years old. And by the way, I need a check for $2,500 for the summer.
Oh,
Mr. Dragon Ball, don't you care about your kid?
I do.
Don't you want him to have the best experience? Don't you want him to compete against the best kids? By the way, what grade are you in? What grade is an 8th grader? There's an 8-year-old. What grade would you be in?
Typically, you start kindergarten about 5, so I would be probably about 3rd grade.
Don't you want him to play against some of the best 3rd graders in the Western United States? Mr. Dragon Ball, I need your son to come play on my 10 under team. We've got an elite team of 4th and 5th graders that I think he could be a part of, and I think I can already tell he's got potential. He could play in the big leagues right now, Mr. Dragon Ball. So I just need a check for $4,000.
Yeah, he barely is able to tie his shoes. I don't know about playing in the majors at this point.
Fast forward 20 years, and he still wears slip-ons.
Yep. Still do. And they are still comfy.
I played multiple sports. I think kids should. Because, number one, they need that rest period like JT was talking about.
Yep.
They need to develop other muscles. But more than anything else, just for their own mental well-being, they should play multiple sports. So they're not pros. I'm sorry, 12-year-olds cannot handle the pressure of playing basically a pro season.
No.
It's fun. They go on trips. They go see things. They get to hang out with their friends. They stay in hotels. But that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid at a young age. And you see so many of these kids just burn out. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own with my own son. The kids that were just the beasts as little kids burn out by the time they get to high school if they don't blow out their arm. Not everybody does travel ball, does that, but I just think it's not a great idea. And the other part is, how do you know that 8-year-old, that 9-year-old, that 10-year-old is going to turn out to be something special? Kids develop at different ages, and I've seen kids that were just beasts as little kids, and it was only because they were bigger than the rest. And then once everybody else caught up with them and outgrew them, it got bigger, faster, stronger. The 7-year-old all-star is not playing high school baseball because it wasn't that he was much more skilled than everybody else. He was just bigger than everybody else at a young age. David, line 1, bear down, welcome. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290. How are you?
I'm doing well, Rich. Bear down.
Bear down. What's going on?
Rich, what a fabulous conversation with JT Snow. He was absolutely one of my favorite guys back at the U of A. He and I, we had a few classes together. Awesome dude. Just the most down-to-earth, awesome guy you'd ever want to meet. And he and I used to have this discussion because we were both very firm believers that the more sports you played, the better off you were going to be from the multidisciplinary perspective. For one, you've mentioned the others in terms of getting the rest between sports, the different muscle groups, but also the different disciplines required to play each sport. They help in terms of the mental acuity when it comes to sports. We discussed all this stuff back then. Since that time, I've coached at the scholastic level for many, many years, and I've fought so hard with both parents and other traveling coaches to prevent their kids, their players, from playing too much of one sport. This 12 months of one sport is just killing these kids. And, I had a number of kids that were playing baseball for me at the school, but then were playing with these traveling teams for the other, let's say 8 months of the year. And they were, like you said, blowing out arms, tearing up knees, just mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, before they were even at the high school level. And one of the moments that tore me up is I had one of my players, really great pitcher, excellent pitcher, but I had heard that he had pitched the night before with one of his traveling teams, and I refused to pitch him in a semifinal game in our league, in our regional. And the parents lost their minds. They're like, "What are you doing? This is the kid that's going to win this for you." And I said, "I refuse to, because I know he pitched two nights ago. He pitched 8 innings. You're not going to convince me to pitch him." They went to the school and forced me to pitch him. And his arm was never the same after that. And I at that moment, I realized I cannot win this battle anymore. And I took time off. I had to, because I wasn't going to win this. But I've always been about, you've got to protect these kids. It's about the kids. It's about developing these kids into the best possible, not just players,
people,
but individuals they can be.
If I lay out that kind of money, $2,500 for young Dragon Ball to play 8 under baseball, or $4,000 for him to play 12 under baseball, as a parent, what am I looking for? If I'm going to spend that kind of money, what do I want? It's the same thing.
You want your kid playing?
No, I want a return on my investment.
Yeah.
Okay. I sent my kid to private Catholic school. Okay. I expected a return on my investment where he was going to get into a really great college and have the opportunity to succeed. I didn't spend all that money to send him to Catholic school for him to not get good grades, great education, and prep him to do well in college. I want a return on my investment. If I spend $4,000 and I have trainers and I have this and I have that, I expect a return on my investment. And parents start to lose focus of, are you doing this for the kid or are you doing this for yourself? Are you doing this for your kid or are you doing this for your ego? Are you doing this for the kid or are you doing this because you're investing money in him and you expect him to return that investment, whether he has the natural ability, the physical gifts, or the maturity to give me that return on my investment? It's a crappy investment that no parent should ever make, to expect to get their money's back and then some when you do things like that. And that's what that family did. They spent all that money in travel baseball. We want him to be the best 10-year-old pitcher in Arizona, so we're going to invest all this money and then demand we get that return on their investment. Kid be damned, because you just lose track of all of it because you're living in your kid's glory.
Absolutely. And one of the things that would frustrate me so much is seeing these parents living vicariously through their kids with no
guilty
real
right here
for the kid.
Guilty right here.
It's like, and I know I've done it too. I want to see my child do well because then it makes me feel good. But then the realization hits, and it's like, wait a minute, what is the end result here?
If there's any parents out there listening to us and you're shaking your head and you don't get it, or I just kind of touched a nerve with what David's saying, what I'm talking about, I want you to Google the Matheny Manifesto. Mike Matheny, former big league manager, when he retired from baseball, he coached his kids' travel league team for a year, and he wrote this missive to the parents, an email. It went viral, and he ended up writing a book about it. But basically, he said, if you're out there, are you out there for your kid or are you out there for yourself? And here's my example of that. Do I have time for this, Dragon Ball? Dragon Ball gave me the okay, David, so we're okay because you know how he acts. So all right, I'll share this personal story with you. So one day I'm late to batting practice at Tropicana Field with the Rays. And I got there and I'm flustered and I'm having a crappy day. And you could tell that I'm having a crappy day because normally I walk by, say hi to everybody, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm not. I look at Joe Madden and I walk in and I'm late for our pregame meeting, and he goes, "Hey, what's going on with you?" I go, I just had a crappy day. I was at my son's baseball practice and I just screamed at him for the entire practice. And Madden stopped. He was walking away from me because we were in the dugout, stopped on a dime, turned around at his heel and got in my face. And he goes, "If you're yelling at a kid at a baseball practice, then you're out there for the wrong reason. God bless it." He used a different word, and he turned and stormed off. I'm like, whoa. Now I'm really feeling awful. Kind of my head's spinning. I sit down. He comes back and he goes, "Listen, if you're out there yelling at the kid, are you out there yelling at the kid for him or yelling at the kid for you?" Oof, that's pretty heady stuff.
That does. That hits right where it needs to hit, though.
So later that year, our team was in the playoffs, and Riggs at that point was the littlest kid on the team, and he wasn't very good. And he came up in the big game, and you know what? By the way, if you're the kid that sucks, you only get to play in the last 2 innings, and you're one of the last kids to hit. Well, the game was up, and it was a playoff game. Ooh, playoff game. He got up there, and lo and behold, got one of the only hits he got that year. So he gets to first base. Everything's cool. Next kid comes up, who was our big slugger, because Riggs was hitting ninth. Our big slugger comes up. Bases loaded, game on the line, chance to win a championship. Strike 3, you're out. He's out. Kids are screaming. Parents are yelling and screaming. Everybody and their brother's crying. Kids are throwing their bats, having temper tantrums. Parents are screaming at the coaches. Dads are screaming at the umpires. All hell's breaking loose. I walk down out of the stands, and I go find my kid, and I'm going to console him thinking he's crying because the rest of these kids are on the ground rolling around in the dirt crying hysterically because they lost. Walked up to my kid, and I said, "Hey, bud, how you doing?" He goes, "Hey, I'm good. Can I get an ice cream?" And I said, "Sure, go ahead. Go ahead. Go get your post-game ice cream." He goes, "Okay." He gets his ice cream. I get him a hot dog and a soda, and he gets a popsicle. And that's it. Everybody else is mad. Kids are yelling at each other, and they're going, hey, we're going to have our team picnic. They're telling the coach, up yours. We don't want anything to do with this team. You lost, and we were the number 1 seed. We could have gone to blah, 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 blah. That was it. We get in the car. And I said, and this is something you should never do with your kid. Don't ever talk to your kid about the game on the way home. Wait till later, and he gets a chance to kind of woo-saw the whole thing. So we get in the car, and I go, hey, bud, good game. He goes, yeah. And I go, hey, nice hit tonight. He goes, yeah. And I go, how did you feel up there? He goes, I was fine. And I said, but Riggs, that was a big moment in the ball game. Weren't you nervous? And he goes, nah. And he's eating his hot dog, drinking his soda in the backseat. I kind of look in the rearview mirror. I go, but what about the other kids? He goes, oh, they were crazy. And I said, well, why weren't you nervous? He goes, you weren't yelling. And I said, what do you mean I wasn't yelling? He goes, all the other dads were yelling and screaming at their kids, and they yell at their kids all the time. He goes, you never yell at me. You weren't standing there screaming, going crazy, so if you weren't nervous, why should I be nervous? So I just went up there, tried to do my best, because you said, all I need you to do is give it your best try. I don't care what happens, just give it your best. So I did. I got a hit, and I was good. And I broke down crying. I was like, wow. From the mouths of babes, I learned a lesson right there. And I wish more parents would have that lesson.
I'll tell you what, Rich, really quick here. One of the most humbling things for me, and one of the most grounding things for me, was every day after every game in Little League, no matter what the result was, blowout win, blowout loss, 1-run win, 1-run loss, when those kids, when it was time to go and shake the hands of the other kids and then go to the snack bar and get their snow cone and their soda pop,
right?
None of them cared what that score was.
Nope.
The only ones that cared were the coaches and the parents. Those kids were just happy with their snow cone, their ice cream, and having fun with their teammates.
No, I do think now somebody's going to take away from this. Oh, we shouldn't keep score. We should keep score. They should learn to compete. They should learn how to win, and more importantly, they need to learn how to lose.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is just they get it. They understand.
The pressure put on them was by the adults.
Yes, it hurts to lose. It's joyous to win, but in the end, it's a simple game, and we're still going to be friends afterwards. And that would humble me after every game.
Absolutely. All right.
Made me realize what I was doing it for.
All right, get out of here. Dragon Ball's yelling at me.
All right.
Bear down, thanks. It's true. The parents are the ones who put all the pressure on everybody, not the kids. It's the parents that mess everything up. Or Dragon Ball. By the way, that was a good call. So because you let him on, I'll move you back up to 60% approval rating today on the program.
See, I told you we'd be getting there by the halfway point.
No, don't you get cocky. We still got another hour and a half to go. You might fall. You might completely spit the bit.
I might, but I like to think that it's only gonna be progressing. We're on an upward slope here.
Ooh, we'll see. Pressure is a privilege. Today's program brought to you by Trajan Wealth. 321-4100, 321-4100. Or go to TrajanWealth.com, TRAJAN Wealth.com. No show Friday, no show Monday. I got to go to California and see my brother and sister, and my mom's house is still there, and we're in the process of figuring out what we're going to do with that, and still got to pay the mortgage on it, still got to pay the insurance, still got to pay the taxes on it. And my brother, luckily for me, is the executor of my parents' estate. Now, through all of this, the one easy thing for him has been the trust that my mom and dad put everything into before they passed away. It's weird, man. In fact, today is the 5-year anniversary of my dad having a stroke. And he died 2 weeks later. Coming up in about a week is going to be the year anniversary of my mom passing away. So it's all these things come back at you. And I remember when I got that call, and he said, he told me. I remember when I got that call from my mom telling me your father had a stroke and he's not doing well, and I remember getting that call saying you got to come up. He doesn't have much time. And then when they passed, we all had to look at each other. What do we do next? We're fortunate that they had the foresight to make sure they had everything in their estate planned out in a trust. I'm so thankful they gave us that last gift. And now you're probably thinking, well, what about my kids? What am I going to do for my kids? How are they going to handle everything? Let me ask you this. When they're grieving and they're missing you, and they've got that big hole in their heart that they don't know how they're ever going to fill, do you want them worrying about probate? Do you want them worrying about your will? Do you want them worrying about how they're going to figure out how to keep paying the taxes on your house and what they're going to do with everything that belongs to you that you want to pass on to them? Unburden them of that. Sit down with my friends at Trajan Wealth, 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to TrajanWealth.com, TrajanWealth.com, and talk about their trust and will services. And if putting everything into a trust makes sense for you the way it did for my folks, they'll help you do that right there. They're right here in Tucson, over in the Kolb Center, over in East Sunrise. Give them a call today, 321-4100, 321-4100, or go to TrajanWealth.com, TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Estate planning services offered through Trajan Estate. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to talk to Clancy next?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll talk with Clancy here.
Now I know you're yelling at me because I went too long. I apologize, Dragon Ball.
Hey,
all right, so
it was worth it.
Yesterday in the program, I was just inspired by Clancy Shields, Arizona men's tennis coach. If you didn't hear it, I want you to take a listen to what he says about how he went from worst to first, winning the first ever Pac-12 men's tennis title. That's next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Fully
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
This is Wildcats Radio 1290, the home of Arizona athletics, and I am so proud to welcome a gentleman that made history along with this tennis team, Clancy Shields, bringing home the first ever Pac-12 Men's Tennis Conference Championship to Tucson is our special guest here on Wildcats Radio 1290. First of all, Clancy, Coach, to you and your entire program, to you and all your players, congratulations on making history.
Rich, thanks for having me on. It was kind of a fairy tale season. It is, and we're still living in it. So we're excited to bring home the regular season title, to go undefeated in arguably the toughest conference in the country, but we still got a lot of work to do, but an exciting milestone for the program, and couldn't be happier for our players.
So how'd you do it? I mean, in the history of the University of Arizona, playing in the Pac-8, going back to the Pac-10, now the Pac-12, Arizona's never won the regular season title in tennis. How did it all come together?
Well, like my mentors before have always told me, to dream big. To dream big and to set big goals, set unreasonable goals that people will laugh at you about. And we set this goal from day one. It was a goal of mine when I took the job here, and maybe I didn't always believe it, but we kept working hard, and we recruited the right kids, and hats off to them. They've done an incredible job, and the success is really in the work that they've put in, and we say this a lot: if you do the bare minimum, you get the bare minimum results, and this team has really gone above and beyond. They work incredibly hard when no one's watching. And I kind of reflected on that the past few days of how did we get here. And I'm always reminded of, the players are watching film on their days off. They are going in and taking care of their bodies. They're stretching extra after practice. They're going out and hitting serves on their own. And if you have a bunch of motivated young men like we do, the sky's the limit. And they've really earned this through hard work. There's no substitute for hard work, and my hat's off to those guys.
Clancy Shields joining us right now, men's tennis coach, University of Arizona, bringing back first ever Pac-12 title to Tucson. Everybody could talk a big game, Coach. And I read this in the newspaper. I think you gave this quote to the reporters yesterday. Listen, when I got the job and they brought me in, I said, hey, we're going to win the Pac-12. Well, Coach, everybody says that. Everybody comes and takes a job, says, I'm going to win a Pac-12. I'm going to win a national championship. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. How do you go from that great feeling when you get the job and you convince somebody I'm the right man for the job to the hard work and then planning your work and then eventually being able to work that plan?
Yeah, well, it wasn't always the case. I think I lost my first 16 matches in the Pac-12. We went winless in the first 2 years here, and a lot of times I doubted myself. And, the thing that motivated me about being at Arizona was, I wanted to be, I wanted our program to be elite along with the other programs at Arizona. And, when you're rubbing shoulders with the basketball program and our softball program and so many great programs at Arizona, it motivates you to be great and to put the extra work in and to get that recruit that you maybe didn't think you could get and to go the extra mile. And so I'd say a lot of it is our team, our players, our coaching staff. We're motivated by the people that are around us. We've got so many great coaches, great administrators here, and the community too has just embraced our program. And it really started with just a couple alumni who believed in us and came to our matches and said, you guys are going to do it. And then that grew to 5 people, to 10 people. And then our last 5 matches at home, I mean, you couldn't find an empty seat at the Robson Tennis Center. And so it really has been a work in progress for many years. But, we just knocked off little stepping stones along the way and got to this point. And now the hard work kind of begins of how do we sustain the success for a long time and make this a national powerhouse program, and much like Arizona basketball.
Go back to something, because you know what, Coach, I sit here on the radio every day and I flap my gums and I talk about the private conversations I have with coaches at the University of Arizona, and I try to get across to the fans, you know what, as great as this athletic department is, as great as the coaching, the facilities, the players, there's one thing that they cannot bring, and that's energy from fans, energy from the crowd. And I sit here sometimes till I'm blue in the face, and I wonder if people really, really believe that they can make a difference. And you're explaining to us that a couple alumni showed up, and then a couple more, and then a couple more, and before you know it, there's a groundswell of support, and it has a direct correlation on the success or failures of a program.
Yeah, the greatest gift people can give our student athletes is to show up and watch them compete, because they put in 20, 30 hours a week, and they're training, and not all of them are going to play professionally, but this is their time, this is their moment, and this is what they've worked their entire lives for, and we just say that and I think it's part of our job as a department of coaches and our student athletes to thank people for coming out and to make them feel like they're a part of it. And it's as simple as this. Going to football games for me was fun because it was Arizona athletics, but now I know the coaches and I'm invested, and it makes a world of difference. Like I can't wait to go to football games. I can't wait to go to softball and soccer and all of these coaches. You build these relationships with them, and you're so much more invested and tied in. And I know that's a fact because I ask our players, like, what's important to you? And the number one thing they say is we want to play in front of a packed house. We want to showcase our talent in front of our community, our school, our family. And when you do that, it makes all the difference in the world. And that's one of the reasons why I love Arizona. I love the community of Tucson, is that we can be special. We can be all of these things. But we have to, we build this together. We all are a part of this process. And when you get everybody involved and there's that support, the kids feel that, and they're going to play so much harder for it.
Clancy Shields joining us right now here on Wildcats Radio. 1290 men's tennis coach, University of Arizona. They'll go into the tournament as the number 1 seed, first time ever for the University of Arizona. Help me out with something, Clancy. You said that, when you first got started, you were just getting clobbered. You lost all those matches, and you said, hard to believe in yourself sometimes. How do you fight through that? Because I think everybody listening to us right now, at one point or another, just felt like the whole world was on top of them. I tell you that, I try to help my son whatever I can, and there's times where he gets down on himself, and it just feels like I'm getting kicked, and then as soon as I get up, I get kicked again, and nobody believes in me, and I'm starting to not believe in myself. How do you push through that when nobody in the world believes in you, and you're even having doubts whether you can get the job done or not?
Yeah, well, that was what was so special about this past weekend. We beat, to clinch the conference, the regular season title, we did it at Washington. And I remember 4 years ago, we'd lost 15 in a row in the Pac-12, and I kept saying, guys, we just got to get over the hump. And we ended up losing a really close one that we should have had against Washington. And actually our fifth-year senior this year back then said he was crying, and he said, well, what do we got to do? Like, is it ever going to happen for us? That was exactly the quote he said. Is it ever going to happen for us? And I told him, I said, it is going to happen for us. We just got to keep pushing, and we just got to keep driving and grinding and keep pushing forward, because everything in life is about confidence and belief. And then once we started getting the ball rolling and started winning, the confidence, it's a hard thing to get. It's easy to lose at times. But if you believe in what you're doing, your process, you believe in the people that you have around you, good things can happen. But certainly we've all been there, and I think those low days make the high days even sweeter, and that's what makes this whole thing for me so sweet, especially for my seniors, is that they were a part of the losing. They were a part of being the laughing stock of our conference, and they never gave up. They never gave in. They kept believing in what we were doing. And for them to go out as champions on top as a senior, I mean, this team will be bonded together the rest of their life. And it's our job as the coaches and leaders of the program to keep motivating our players. And I say this to anyone who wants to be a coach or in anything, our number one job as a coach is to build confidence in our players. And if we're not the most enthusiastic, most confident person in the room, then they're not going to be that either. And so that's our mission. Even fake it until you make it, right? You have to show that to the kids, and we certainly have gone through the gauntlet. And for anyone out there, just keep pushing, keep believing, and good things will happen for you.
Let's talk about those seniors that were, like you said, the laughing stock of the Pac-12, getting kicked around by everybody. You show up like, oh, Arizona's here. We don't have anything to worry about. Now, these same seniors never gave up. They are the epitome of what it means to bear down. Talk about the senior class and everything they've been through and how happy you are for these individuals.
Yeah, well, bear down, you said it perfectly. What does bear down mean? It's everyone throws it around, and I didn't understand it for so many years here. Like, what does bear down mean? And until I saw my team competing the way that they do, and that they fight so hard, and that, you know, when they go out and they compete and they go out and battle, they are the epitome of what the bear down spirit means. And really, for these seniors, you know, they are not the most talented kids. They're not the most sought after recruits, but they really bought into the culture of, we're going to be the most competitive team out there. We're going to be the most hardworking team out there. We're going to support each other on and off the court. And really, the motto in our program is also to be the best in everything that you do. And last night we had our Catsies banquet and for the whole athletic department. And, you know, our team is the top men's GPA with a 3.53 cumulative GPA. They won the Community Service Award. They're getting it done on the classroom. And when you start challenging yourself in your own life to be the very best you can in everything that you do, then the results follow. And this whole thing of why I got into coaching was not just to coach tennis, but really to build young men of character and that they go on and be successful in their lives. And that's so cliche to say as a coach, but I can promise you anybody who hires a player from our program is going to get a winner. They're going to get a hard worker. They're going to get somebody who does it the right way. And, you know, I'm just proud of the kids that have gone through this program, and I know they're set up for success in the rest of their life.
It really is true. Good is the enemy of great. If we just settle for being good, we'll never achieve getting close to anything, even remotely touching greatness. Clancy Shields joining us right now. What about for the parents? The parents are such a big part of the support system for these kids, and you know, I know for your families, they travel with your team, and they go to matches here, and they'll go to matches on the road. To see those parents of those seniors that you've had for so many years, and remember, these folks, these families lived through COVID. They lived through all the disruption. They've had a career at the University of Arizona that I don't think anybody will ever be able to replicate. Clancy, what about just seeing the family celebrating with their kids and a couple moms and dads coming up hugging you?
It's the best part of this job. You know, it brings me to tears every time just to think about it. Like giving them a hug and telling them how much I've loved being a part of their kids' lives, and thanking them for trusting me to be that part of their life, and to kind of gap that bridge between them being boys to young men. And the parents that we've had have been so supportive, so great. And really, you know, it takes a village to do what we're doing, and all of these seniors, their parents have sacrificed so much for their kids to be here and to really represent our program to the best of their ability. And it's just a sweet moment, and man, it picks your heart every time seeing these parents who have supported our team and allowed me to take their kids under my wing. And then, you know, in a lot of ways, they say that a coach is like a second parent in many ways, and I feel that. These kids are much more than just players to me. They're part of my family, and I love them dearly, and they all hold a special place in my heart, and so do their parents.
Go back to championship mentalities, working hard, bearing down, and how that goes viral through McHale Center, and when you have the head coaches meetings and Dave Hickey brings you all along, it's like you guys are sitting around as knights of the round table, and you see Jed and the energy that he's bringing. You see Tommy, the success that he's had. You see Laura and Jim from the golf team and the success they've had. You have Adia and everything that she's accomplished. How much do you feed off all of that, and how happy are you that you're going to be able to help feed that energy with what you've accomplished this year when you take your place at that table?
Yeah, well, it starts at the top. Dave he always talks about having a championship culture, and that why not us? Why not Arizona? And why can't we do it here? And I love that, because you really need to be, you know, supported and challenged. And, you know, sometimes we don't want to talk about like winning because you don't want the pressure or so forth. But for me, it's kind of opposite. The program I was at before, Utah State, you know, I never really felt the pressure to perform. It was only the pressure that I put on myself. And coming here, you know, you feel that positive pressure of like, we can do this, and everybody around you is investing everything into it. And I just get so much joy watching all of our coaches and sports teams do well. And, you know, because we're all in the trenches fighting together and doing this together, trying to win recruiting battles and to have success here. And so I think we have the best department in the country. I think we've got the best coaches. And they're just, it's really a family dynamic in those rooms, and it starts at the top with Dave.
There's a new term I've never heard before, positive pressure, because I think one of the things that you guys talk about over at McHale is pressure is a privilege. You know what?
Absolutely.
It's a good thing to have pressure on you, because that means there's something at stake and you're competing.
Yeah, well, and we felt that this week going into our last two matches of, well, guys, you're about to accomplish something that's never been done before, and you cannot play it safe. You know, you cannot hide from this. You need to embrace it, and that was the cool thing for our team, knowing that we had to win these last two matches to win the conference championship, and that was our conversation of pressure is a privilege. And actually, the first thing that we did in our match, I said, guys, take 3 deep breaths and smile for me, and it just takes a little bit of that, like, having fun. It's almost like the quarterback for the 49ers, Joe Montana.
Yeah.
You know, he goes into the last drive, and he cracks a joke. I mean, and that's the thing is that you need to know how to handle it. But at the same sense, you know, there's nothing more fun than being in that state of heightened living where, you know, you have something on the line and you're going after it. And we've experienced the highs and the lows. And at the end of it, though, you know, you got to be humble in victory and defeat. And that's the thing that we're challenging ourselves right now as we go into this tournament is that, guys, you did something special, but how cool would it be if you could turn it around and do it in the conference tournament like our basketball team and Tommy did this year. And you know, that would show a really big sign of our character on our team if we could really turn it around and have a good result this week.
Wow. All right, so what's next? Ojai for the Pac-12 championships. You're the number 1 seed, Coach. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're the number 1 seed. You know, when you've beaten everyone in the conference, they're going to look at you a little different when you walk in the building. That all eyes are on you. You got the target on your back. We're no longer the hunter. We're the hunted. And I couldn't be more happy for our players to experience what that feels like, because that's what it's all about. Is once you've earned that spot, how can you maintain it? How can you stay at the top of your game? And so I'm excited to see how our players handle it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a new challenge, and you know, we'll see what we can do. We're certainly, you know, we want to host the NCAA tournament with the top 16 teams. Host the regional, the first 2 rounds of the NCAAs, which would be so cool for Tucson. Have a ton of people at our matches in the hot desert heat. We would love to have that happen. And so we've got a lot of goals still left to knock off on that we set at the beginning of the year. And so our players are still very much hungry, and they're going to come out like warriors this weekend, and we're going to give everything that we got.
You know what it is, Coach? It's T-shirt time. It's time for you guys to earn more T-shirts. I got a Pac-12 regular season. I need you to get a Pac-12 championship T-shirt for winning the tournament. I mean, come on. That Pac-12 championship hat is pretty cool, isn't it?
It's pretty cool, but, you know, as I told some of the guys, I said, look, winning a championship is cool. You get a ring, you get a shirt, you get a hat. But what's even more cool is that what you guys accomplished this year will bond you together for the rest of your life, for the next 10, 20, 30 years, when players get married, when they have kids. Everybody's bonded together now because we were able to accomplish something as a group. And if there's something cool about that, then that's what it was. And I couldn't be happy to know that this group will be together the rest of their lives and have that moment that they were able to share. And let's go create some more of them.
Absolutely. Clancy, Coach, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I mean, you listen, since you've been coming on the radio, I ask you for all these coaches, I ask you for all this motivation, and for you to take these lessons that you shared with us over this season and watch them come to fruition with a championship for your team. I couldn't be prouder of the Arizona men's tennis program, watching you guys achieve everything you have. And listen, you guys host Pac-12, if you guys host NCAAs and you want us to come out there, do the radio shows and support it, we will be there. We will do anything you want to support and pack the tennis center.
Awesome. We're going to take you up on that. And if we end up hosting, you know, as Adia said when she brought the NIT here and packed out McHale, look, I'd love to see no seats are empty. We're going to bring in more seats and really, let's celebrate these student athletes for the hard work they've put in, and there could not be a better ambassador for the University of Arizona, our athletic department, the community of Tucson, and I hope we can make that come true.
Clancy, congratulations. Give our best to your entire team. We're proud of you. Let's bring back a championship from Ojai this week, shall we?
All right, we're going to work for it, and let's see what happens at the end of the week. We're going to give our best.
All right, bear down. Thank you so much. I'll catch up with you soon.
All right, bear down.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Pulling
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Rich Herrera Show rolls on here on a Wildcat Wednesday. Hey, it's not a Wildcat Wednesday unless we talk with the voice of the Arizona Wildcats. Getting ready for baseball coming up this week. Brian Jeffries joining us here on 1290. Bear down, Brian. Happy Wildcat Wednesday.
Happy Bear Down Wednesday, Wildcat. Sorry, I got it in the wrong order there, but you know what I mean.
Exactly. Hey, big games coming up this weekend at High Corbett. The renewal of the rivalry. Willie Bloomquist and the school up north comes down to take on Chip Hale. I think it's kind of interesting. I was talking with somebody today. Think about this. You got 2 former big leaguers running the programs in Tempe and in Tucson.
Well, yeah, it's kind of neat. I know when we went up there for the non-conference game, that was kind of the theme of the day, was to see those two guys. They're a generation apart. They didn't play against one another, but and yet the fact that they were graduates or alums and they've gone on to have great professional careers and now back at their schools to lead their programs, and it's all happening at the same time it is unique. There's no doubt about that. So it's just part of the rivalry, and I know those guys, breathe fire when it comes down to the rivalry, and they want to win badly. So, the Wildcats, after dropping that game up there, I know they're looking at this one with a lot of interest because these 3 games mean a lot more, of course, in terms of the conference race.
Absolutely. Brian Jeffries joining us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. And again, as Arizona went and they swept the games at Creighton, but again, this is college baseball. You never knew who you're going to run into on the Friday, Saturday pitchers. Arizona struggling a little bit, wanting to right that ship and get the momentum going into the Pac-12 tournament. Talk to us about where the Cats are right now baseball-wise.
Well, it's been a tough few weeks here. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I mean, when you drop back-to-back series to 2 teams in the bottom half of the standings, you got to kind of step back and see, okay, what can we do here? Is there something that needs to be fixed, et cetera? And, up at Salt Lake City last weekend, a couple of things really stood out. Runners in scoring position, the Wildcats were not good in that area. I think they ended up going something like 3 for 20. And, runner at third with less than 2 out. I think the number was they were 1 for 8 at the plate. And that's things that hadn't troubled them early in the season. And so they need to get that turned around. They need to be able to, they got to move runners over. They got to get them in. There's no doubt about that. Now, you can get away with that, if your pitching is solid. And as you mentioned, Rich, the 3 starters, none of them had their best stuff last weekend. And I thought it was interesting that, Chip and Dave Lawn went to the bullpen exclusively at Creighton and kind of pieced things together that way. And those guys were great. And the bullpen has been really outstanding. But you need those starters to come out and be able to give you some solid innings early. So I think that's going to be really important because, ASU now, all of a sudden, they've become one of the hottest teams in the league. They're hitting the ball extremely well. They don't have great pitching. They have the highest ERA in the league. But they are a very good offensive team. So I think it's really important for Arizona's starting pitchers and all their pitchers. They've got to be able to hold ASU down because the Wildcats, batting average just hasn't been able to, to get back to where they were, let's say, a month ago. Even in the games at Creighton, I mean, they got 6 runs on Monday and 3 last night. They won both games, and that's great. And if you could win games like that, absolutely. But I thought one of the other thing that has come out of this is interesting because, Rich, early on, Chip Hale really wasn't running the bases a lot because the team was hitting the ball so well, and now they've stolen 7 bases in the last 5 games, something like that. So now they're running more because the offense hasn't been quite up to where it was earlier. So that adds another element. They've got some guys that can run, and so that adds another element to their game. But this weekend is really big, Rich. You can't drop a home series in the conference right now where things sit, because 2 weeks ago the Wildcats were in the top 25 and they were projected to host a regional, and now they're out of both. They can still get back there, but they got to win series. That's all there is to it.
Brian Jeffries joining us right now as we preview Arizona State coming up Friday, Saturday, Sunday. First game on Friday, 6 p.m. You'll hear it here on 1290. We were just talking, and you're going to hear this coming up a little bit later in this hour of the program. JT Snow was our guest today for Wildcat Wednesday. He was just talking about one of his greatest memories was going up to Tempe and sweeping the Sun Devils and knocking them out, and how much he still thinks about that to this day. What's your favorite Arizona State memory?
Oh, there's too many. I don't have a favorite one, Rich. I mean, certainly knocking Arizona State out of the Rose Bowl a couple of times. I mean, that stands out. The many basketball wins in Tempe. I mean, there's so many times when, at least if you looked at it from the perspective of the opponent, they thought they'd maybe turned the corner and caught Arizona, and the Wildcats go up there and win the game, and that's always good. Baseball. I mean, it's it's countless series that you win or lose, and obviously when the Wildcats win, it's a lot better situation. I can't think of one in particular. There's just because you play so much every year, and back in the 6-pack days, you used to play 6 times a season, and even now,
you get the non-conference game or two every year. So there's just been a bunch of them. But football and basketball certainly. I can pin that down to just a few.
And when you talk to fans, I'm sure they have their favorite memories that they come back. Oh, I remember that call you had here. I remember you had that call there, because it's something that's kind of part of the DNA when the two schools get together.
Well, yeah, and back when, and I wasn't doing the play-by-play at that time, but I was part of the broadcast crew when, Larry Smith got the streak going against ASU, and those games, every one of those games, I think was memorable, just because Arizona won, and there's just a couple of improbable games there that you didn't think they had a chance, and they came up big at the end, and those are the types of things that fans talk about all the time, and I think that streak that Larry put together was probably the one that stands out when you look back at history and people talk about just an era when you kind of dominated Arizona State in one sport. And Arizona's done that in basketball for a long time. That was their football domination. And baseball, these teams, they're pretty even. Neither team has had what I could say a run where they put a bunch of seasons together where they've won series. It's been really close back and forth, and that's the way you kind of expect rivalries. And both baseball programs are so strong, of course. Two of the top 10 winning teams in college baseball history. So you just expect every game and every series to go down to the ninth inning.
Well, when we were talking with JT, and again, this conversation will come up. We're going to replay it for everybody coming up here at the bottom of the hour. One thing that I just maybe I need to keep top of mind a little bit more. We talk about Arizona Wildcats that go on to the NBA from McHale Center. He reminded me, looking at all the Arizona Wildcats that have left either Sunset Field or High Corbett, that have gone on to play professional baseball and going on to the next level. And he was telling us a story about, facing Scott Erickson, and Erickson had that death stare while he's standing over there in the tour and trying to not laugh at each other, and, seeing Trevor Hoffman or Alan Zinter or all the rest of these guys. And he says it's kind of cool. And he was playing first base, and another Arizona Wildcat made it to first base, and they could have a little chuckle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you see that all the time. And I think I just saw today where J.J. Madrujevic has been called up by the Astros. So
right.
There's the next Wildcat now that's going to be playing Major League Baseball, which is great to see, and I'm really happy for him. It's interesting you bring up that J.T. Snow and talking to him, because you look back at one of those teams he was on when, he was playing first base. Joe McGrain was one of the starting pitchers.
Yep.
Remember, Trevor Hoffman was a shortstop.
Yeah.
He didn't pitch. He was a shortstop. And Kenny Lofton was a pinch hitter on one of those teams. And so, Scott Erickson was on that team. They've had some tremendous players come through the program, but I can't forget that one. I remember there was an all-star game, Major League all-star game, that Kenny Lofton was in, and I actually sent Bob Costas a copy of the box score, because there was that one, and Kenny didn't play a whole lot because, of course, he was at Arizona on a basketball scholarship, so he didn't play a lot of baseball, and Jerry Kindle used him mostly as a pinch runner or pinch hitter because of his speed. And so, but there was one game there where you had McGrain as the starting pitcher, JT at first base, Hoffman at short, and Kenny Lofton got into the ball game. And I said, when you look at this and see, look at the talent that was on that Arizona campus on that one team, that one day, and what they've gone on to do in Major League Baseball, it's pretty special.
Brian Jeffries joining us right now on Wildcats Wednesday. Don't forget, coming up Friday, Arizona starts their series with Arizona State. Brian will have all three games for you here on 1290. Get out to see the Cats take on Arizona State. You heard JT talking about it. Go out. How do you best help this team? How do you best support the student athletes getting out there and watching the games? Clancy Shields was just talking about that just a couple of minutes ago, Brian, how much of a difference it means when fans come out to watch these games. So I want to see a packed house of the games against Arizona State. Before we let you go, I'm going to switch gears and throw you a little curveball right here. Wanted to get your thoughts. I think since last we sat down and talked, Ben Mathurin declares for the NBA draft. We wish him nothing but the best. Christian Coloco also declares for the NBA draft. We want to see nothing but the best from him. What are you gonna put away in the memory bank that you'll use 5 years from now when those guys make it big in the NBA and you're kind of in between plays, or you get a little timeout and you and Ryan were sitting there? What are you going to recall of their time here in Tucson?
Well, I think this season in particular, I mean, Ben was here for 2 years, and he was very good last year, but he was spectacular this season as a sophomore. Christian, just watching him grow because he was a skinny, not so sure-handed freshman, and now he's turned into a major defensive force and a guy that can score around the basket. He's developed so much, and I think that you give him a year or two in the NBA, and he has a chance. At his size, he's very smart. That he has a chance to have a great career. Ben he looks the part. He's just one of those guys where I remember when this past season got underway and the guys came back to campus, and you could just see how much he had developed himself over the summer. So he just looked like an NBA player all year. But the most thing I'll remember is this season, Rich, and what those guys did. I mean, to win a Pac-12 championship and a Pac-12 tournament championship, to get to the Sweet 16, to be a number one seed. I mean, that's what's special, and those guys were such a major part of it. I mean, everybody on that team was, but those two guys really stand out, and they're destined for, I think, greatness in the NBA.
I mean, you think of all the great highlights. We play them all the time on the radio. I can go through and I probably have 100 great Ben Mathurin highlights, and I probably have just as many Christian Koloko highlights sitting on the hard drives of the computers in here. I mean, some of the plays they had are going to be remarkable. Christian Koloko, the block after block after block. But how about that Ben Mathurin block where he goes up and he has a block of a dunk? Or when he posterized TCU. I mean, there's so many plays that I can look back on for years and just go, wow. It was very special to have these two young men here in Tucson.
Yeah. I think Mathurin's three-pointer against TCU that more or less saved the game for the Wildcats. That will go down to me as maybe the shot of the season. And that to me describes exactly what Ben Mathurin is all about, because there was no way he was going to allow his team to lose that game. And I think the other players knew that. They sensed that he was going to get it done. So that one's going to stand out. That one play will stand out for me for a long time.
Is it weird when you watched, I'm not even sure if you have time with baseball and everything, do you get a chance to watch any of the NBA playoffs? And, you look at all these kids, they were babies when they were here. And you called their games in McHale, and now you look at them as grown men on the next level, whether it's Andre Iguodala or Aaron Gordon, and we can keep going and going and going. All these Arizona Wildcats are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I mean, the program has produced so many, and the fact that they've gone on to do what they've done, I think it just speaks for the coaching that Arizona's had between Lute Olson and Sean Miller, and now what Tommy Lloyd will do in terms of producing, future stars. I mean, that's really what it's all about. I mean, they've gone out and recruited high-character guys. They've turned them into, outstanding young men, and that's why they succeeded. And, you can say the same thing about, you onto the coaching ranks and what Steve Kerr's been able to do. It's remarkable, but then when you know the guy and you know what he's all about, you understand that it's no surprise what he's been able to accomplish. And, what they're doing right now with the shakeup that he's done and gone really small ball, I'm excited. I mean, I'm a fan of the Warriors because of Steve, and I'm really excited to see what they do here in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm a huge Warriors fan, so I sit there and watch those games, and I think it's interesting. If you're an Arizona Wildcat fan, you can have 5-6 different favorite NBA teams just because of the connection to Tucson.
Yeah, no, there's plenty of guys out there, and if they're not playing, they're broadcasting or
right.
They have something to do with pro basketball. So it's a great fraternity. Talk about it all the time with guys. And the other thing that we don't see or hear, and that is the family atmosphere that they have and the connection that they continue to have, and the guys that they continue to talk to one another on a weekly basis, and they get together more often than any of us know about because, they don't need to make those things public, but it's a great fraternity. And guys that didn't play together because they were Wildcats and they've gone on to the NBA. I mean, there is that kinship, and they talk about it all the time. And when they see each other, they may not even have met before, but they came out of the U of A program and they have that in common. And so I think that's a great bond that those guys continue to have.
Brian, I appreciate you joining us today. Hey, don't forget, Brian will have the call Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Arizona versus Arizona State. Now, a reminder to everybody, you can hear the game streaming online as well. You can hear it on Alexa. You can hear it on your Google smart speaker. You can hear it on our app. You can hear Brian everywhere on our streaming audio on our website as well. So we'll have all those games for you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the school up north in town to take on Chip Hale and the Arizona Wildcats. Brian, thank you so much. Bear down. I'll talk to you next week.
Okay. Thanks, Rich. We'll see you.
All right, take care. Brian Jeffries joining us here, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, our guest on Wildcat Wednesday. Coming up, we'll check the big story, and then I'm really, really proud of this one. Our Wildcat Wednesday guest today was JT Snow. In case you missed it, we got that coming up at the bottom of the hour. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball. Down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Arizona. Timeout, TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep three from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. Two tight ends. Oregon, five-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep, down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Fully
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona.
Dragon Ball, you lip sync that line better than anybody else I know.
It's not an easy thing to do. You're not born. You got to be born with it. That's the kind of skill you got to be born with.
I'm very impressed. Rich Rare Radio Show with you. Thanks you so much. Our thanks to Brian Jeffries for joining us here. The pollen's all knocked down. I see like all the blossoms on the ground now,
Yep.
so my allergies are a little bit better.
Oh, but once that wind gust starts picking up and starts to swirl, that's when you're going to be.
So
in a
now
whole
I feel
nother
my
set
eyes
of-
starting to get puffy and watery, and my nose is running.
That's when it gets worse. I would argue that's where it gets worse, because then you get the buds that start to like swirl in the wind, but you're also getting dirt because the dirt gets picked up in the little pollens and things like that. So you're adding to that.
So let me see if I can get through this for the rest of the program. Big stories of the day. According to media reports, Azuolas Tubelis will come back for one more year at the University of Arizona.
Yep, he'll be coming on back. He's the second leading scorer, second leading rebounder. So the Cats, they got somebody to build around right now.
I wasn't aware that he was one that we were keeping an eye on. I know DT was. I think Azuolas is one, and he's like DT. Could he go out and – well, Azuolas could go play and make a ton of money in Europe.
Yeah, and I think that was the main thing, was that there was a concern that he would potentially go play pros in the Euro leagues or somewhere else overseas.
And with that Arizona pedigree, he's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah.
Now,
that'd be a dead easy to pick.
Now, does he have an opportunity to play in the NBA? I think so. What does he need to do? Improve his game to get an opportunity to really put himself in a position to make a ton of money in the next level in college in European basketball or professional basketball here in the States.
Mm-hmm.
Just like DT. Could DT sign right now? Would somebody sign him as a free agent? Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Would somebody draft him in the second round? Absolutely. If he comes back and plays and improves his game, just like Azuolas, will their stock rise enough to make it worthwhile to come back and play one more year? Absolutely. So I'm glad Azuolas Tubelis will stay here and improve his game. Somebody who's going pro, and I am not heartbroken by this one iota, Johnny Juzang from UCLA. Good luck. I wish you nothing but the best in professional basketball, and I'm glad you're out of the Pac-12.
See, he's gone, but Jaime Jaquez is coming back, so that's a bit of a rough
I wanted
one.
him to go pro, too.
Yeah, there was a chance. I thought, honestly, between the two, I thought Jaquez was going to be the one that would jump sooner than Juzang, but it makes more sense that Juzang runs
right.
to the NBA.
Good luck, Johnny. Glad you're leaving the Pac-12.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Do we still have to play Tiger Campbell next year?
I believe so.
Oh, man. He's been there, it feels like dog years now.
Dog years. He's actually 85 years old, still playing in the Pac-12.
He's got a lot of
Arizona sweeps Creighton over the last 2 days. They have ASU coming in on Friday. Arizona softball sweep a doubleheader from Utah. Let's see. Suns lose. Booker's out with the hamstring, and the Suns, I think they're in trouble.
They're going to be in trouble. They got to take at least one game out in New Orleans for sure.
Well, just to get home court advantage back. That's why you work so hard to be the number 1 seed. You've lost home court advantage.
Best case scenario here, obviously. Okay, best case scenario is the Suns suddenly sweep New Orleans in New Orleans. The situation you want to go into is you want to make this a best-of-3 series. You have to take one game in New Orleans.
You have to. But now New Orleans stole home court advantage, so they're in the driver's seat.
And they're saying
you're without Booker.
Yeah, and they're also saying in New Orleans that Zion could technically come back at any point that he wants to. He's physically fit enough to play, is what they're being told. So who knows if Zion makes an appearance during the series now.
And again, I'm not being a homer, but I think the best 2 teams I've seen in the NBA playoffs so far are the Heat and the Dubs.
Yep.
Sorry, I know you hate whenever we use the...
No. See, if you were just calling them the Wars, then it'd be an issue.
Well, nobody calls them the Wars.
No, but that's my point. That's my issue, is I don't like the C's. I don't like the Celts.
No, people call them the C's.
I just don't like that.
Well, nobody in Boston cares.
I know no one in Boston cares.
Nobody in this room cares.
They still barely are just getting used to the fact that they have AC in their stadium, let alone the fact that they...
What?
Do you remember back when the old Boston Garden?
Right. Which they haven't played in forever.
Yeah, but back in those days where they didn't have the AC running and it just looked like everybody was sweating buckets. They looked like me when I was a host at Chili's. Like they were just sweating in the stands like nobody's. But they're still
Red Auerbach with the Dragon Ball.
Everyone was in their white T-shirts and they looked like they were sunken through like Sean Miller on the side of the court. Now that they have AC and TD Garden, they're just like, oh, this is a revolutionary thing. They're still getting used to that.
Well, the C's are playing tonight against the Nets, and I think
they're not doing well. They're down by I think 11 or so at half right now.
Okay. Anyway, those are the big stories of the day. Other big story of the day. We had JT Snow on earlier today. You're going to want to hear JT Snow join us for Wildcat Wednesday. I'm Rich Herrera. That's the Dragon Ball. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.